Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I want to tune in to see what it is that the universe wants to talk to you about today, just regarding a situation that is on your mind, something that you're going through, something that you're trying to get some advice on. Before I had a chance to even turn on the camera, like my sacral chakra just suddenly felt very uneasy. It was this sort of alert feeling as though, oh shit, uh, is someone looking at me? Am I getting in somebody's way? There's this sort of feral instinct that I'm picking up right now. Risk. I am going to cut this. While it's easy to say no risk, no reward, however your energy is feeling, you can't see the benefit of taking risk right now, and you might need to listen a little bit to that at the base insight. Um, your guides, whatever it is that the universe wants to talk to you about today, they want to give you a little bit of a better idea on how you can approach whatever it is that you are going through. There is something that you want. There is something rewarding in whatever it is that you are struggling with. I think a few of you guys are, looking to open yourselves up to new ways of divinating, whether if that is you're exploring online to learn more about different divination styles, or you're trying to learn it for your own sake. But we have the top over here exposed. Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Trickery. I think a lot of you guys are struggling at this time to open up to your spiritual gifts. There's an old latent fear, probably from a past life, but probably more like childhood, that you're going to have to resolve before you can move forward, because there's something about you uncovering your gifts that's making you feel as though you're a trickster, and I don't think that's true. So if this sounds like your situation, you are more than welcome to stick around. If we haven't met yet, my name is High Priestess Berries, psychic, medium, and divine channeler, hoping to bring you a message. Now, always remember, my messages are candid, unscripted, but they're also timeless, so please tap into your instincts, listen to your intuition. If there's anything that I talk about that doesn't make any sense, totally fine. Do not worry about it. This message may not be for you, but if it does resonate, please let me know by liking and sharing your experiences in the comments below. What's behind door number one? The star. Okay, like you are definitely actively manifesting something, and I know you're pouring your time, energy, and resources into whatever this is supposed to be. And I think you guys are in this really neat little space. It doesn't feel neat, but I'm calling it really neat, very cute, because I want to soften up this energy just a little bit so that, well, yeah, on one hand, you are opening up to your spiritual gifts, and yeah, on the other hand, you have to take some great responsibility to make sure that your gifts work for you and you don't use it to be manipulative. But I think it's because you have manipulative people around you who are distracting you from what's actually important at this time. But after I go to cut, Page of Swords, all talk and no play makes Johnny a dull boy. Very weird. Okay. Oh, it's like you're around somebody. Okay. So whatever energy is around you, whether this is something like a conversation going on in the back of your mind, congratulations. I think you have the gift of clairaudience. We can talk about that in a second. But this also could be someone within your physical environment, and they're just saying platitudes. It's like a quote generating machine. Just people who say things just because it's a nice thing to say. This is an energy that doesn't go any deep, and it's just sort of repeating the same things all over again. So, what the fuck do you think is going on? We got Ace of Coins, brand new beginning. What's actually going on? Queen of Cups. Oh, there's a couple different ways we could look at this. I actually feel like there's an old childhood wound that's trying to be brought up to the surface. You're actually a very creative person. Like this particular crow at the base of the deck, they want a tasty little treat, but it's like bobbing for apples, especially if you got a beak. I'm sure you can sympathize, but every single time this poor crow tries to get after this piece of shrimp, it bobs away. It's like doink, doink, doink. So it's gathering a bunch of stones in order to create, like, this is an earth energy approach, creating new land underneath it so that it can pick out exactly what it is that it wants. But it takes a little bit of time, and it's definitely a need to think outside of the box. Like, we saw the star. So this is something that an intention that you planned. It's something that is coming up to the surface, and it's being exposed. But I think because some of you are still struggling, feeling feral, as though you're going to be found out, the fear of getting into trouble. This is an old childhood wound, especially when you were a kid. And maybe you grew up in a religious household that didn't allow you a chance to really foster your gifts, or a belief heavy family where, you know, one way or the other, religion or not, you had to do it a specific way. And for some of you, really got wrist slapped because you were trying to explore things outside of the religion, outside of the belief system, or just going against how your family raised you. But there's still a tie with this Queen of Cups right here. There's a real need to want to still be loved through it all, and there is a way through, but there's a limiting belief that you've accidentally adopted, and it has to do with this shallow platitudes. Oh, well, it is what it is. Oh, well, it's sort of like you try to get help from somebody and they give you superficial advice. Like, what's underneath the Eight of Swords? I'm kind of curious. Balance. This is the card of Temperance. Six of Wands. You had somebody in your past that, oh, you loved, respected, and depended on. And when you went to them for help, like, you weren't allowed to tune into your own gifts. Like, that was already obnoxious. So you went to ask for help from an external source, and they didn't actually help the issue. Oh, just don't listen to them. Oh, that's just how boys are. Like, again, this is just superficial platitudes. So there's been kind of a need for you to bury your gifts, which is a little bit difficult right now. What's going on in the past? King of Swords, present, Queen of Wands, Three of Wands. I mean, a lot of Three of Wands for you guys lately. And I'm kind of glad that it's slowly shifting towards the future, as though something's trying to get it away. Like, you are faced in the right direction. I will say that. Like, a lot of these energies, they are faced this way, which, you know, like, this is the past, this is the future. That's sometimes the way that I look at the board. But there's an ask for whoever this person is, this page. First of all, maybe you've given them way too much clout in your life. Maybe they've had way too much say in what goes on in your reality, because they're actually quite shallow. I think you love this person very much. It's not as though you don't love them, but they're only capable of so much depth. And in some ways, it's a little bit of an unrealistic expectation. This is extremely difficult if when you were a child, and this is somebody older than you. Because there's nothing more obnoxious when you're younger and you come across somebody who's physically older, but they're so fucking immature. Like, there is some kind of realization I think that somebody had when they were younger. It's like, how is it that you're a grown up, but I feel more mature than you, and you know you weren't being too much of an egoic bastard about it? But there's an ask right now to have a look at this King of Swords and just be honest about who they are. I didn't want to bother clarifying this King of Swords because to me, it's actually quite simple where it is that you need to start. Is this person actually a king, or they truly a page? Because if they're truly a page, it doesn't mean you need to cut them down. They might cut you down. But it's like, can you just see this person for who it is that they are? They're very limited in the way that they want to approach the world. You can still love them, and I think you do. But it's, again, allowing them to be the person that they are. This Queen of Wands actually intrigues me way more. So, okay, I'm going to grab the Light Seer. We have the Hanged Man, which is also another common card we've been seeing lately. Can you tell me a little bit more about the Queen of Wands? This is where you are at. This is you accessing your divine gifts. I really feel like whatever it is that you're understanding about yourself, your psychic gifts. I was making a comment earlier about clairaudience, and when you're clairaudient, those are the conversations that you can that happen within your mind, you know, the village of you. And when you're in the middle of dealing with, say, mental illness, those voices can get quite rough. They become quite real. And it is just important for anybody who's kind of curious. As long as the little voices in your head, they're kind, compassionate, and they're helpful, then you're fine. If they're telling you to do bad things, and even worse, you're tempted to follow through on the bad things, that's when you seek out medical attention. That's when you need to seek out help. So, create the boundaries so that you can feel sane and safe to access these particular gifts. It's not to be confused with, say, claircognizance. That's sort of you speaking in the back of your mind. Some people talk out loud and some people talk inwardly. Claircognizance can be a little bit about that inward conversation, but be very cautious with claircognizance because you don't actually know who's listening to you. Like, again, oh god, this is such fucking paranoia. I think for some of you, like, you are having to get over mental illness or mental illness within the family. Your gifts are being awakened. Don't like the way I'm kind of feeling you right now. Like, don't over identify with whatever this was from your past. You aren't this person just because they had a bad experience accessing their spiritual gifts. That's their journey, and you need to be autonomous and embrace your own journey at this time where we have 901s. Like, this is very encouraging. Like, the universe really wants to encourage you. It's okay to move forward. It's okay to press through. We got Page of Pentacles. You're learning something brand new, and you're sort of in this little, I want to call it a penalty box. It's not actually that. It's like a little safe space that the universe is giving you so you can start playing around a little bit. If your heart is open and you're working from a state of compassion, you can operate and play with your spiritual gifts. If you're doing it to cut other people down, to be mean to them, I think this past person may have had that happen to them when they were younger. Like, that's where using your gifts is karmic. I'm not getting that. Queen of Wands can be a very karmic person, but it's sort of like the declaration that I've made to the universe about my spiritual gifts as Priestess Berries. May I always use my gifts for good and or chaos, because there's a lot of fun creativity that you're getting ready to access. What do we have right here? I like that. Page of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. I think you guys are just looking for permission to know, is it okay? If you are balanced, it is okay. If you're feeling imbalanced, then it's not okay. When you are, because Two of Pentacles for me, that's your neuroregulation card, being able to balance out what's going on physically in your reality, along with what's going on subconsciously in the back of your mind. There's talking to the voices in your head, and then there's, talking to the voices outside of you, and having them coexist properly and healthfully, and knowing the difference between the two. And this takes practice. This is not an overnight thing. You know how long it takes for children to learn how to talk? You're like a child right now trying to learn how to speak again. So be nice to yourself. Be your own parent if that's what it takes. But as you develop your discernment, you'll be able to figure out what words, what energies, what aspects of the spirituality that need to be dismissed, because a lot of you guys still need to cut some of these old energies out. Like I said before, if the voices are kind, compassionate, and they help elevate your well-being, they're good. If they're making you feel bad about yourself or encouraging you to do mean or bad things, they need to be dismissed, and it becomes overwhelming. That's when you seek out medical help. How would I know this? Why? I literally asked a psychic, my therapist, and my and my psycho, my pharmaceutical psychoanalyst. I've asked doctors and diviners this exact same question. And it's a very scary thing to ask your therapist about the voices in your mind. And sometimes you could actually be very pleasantly surprised. I do like we have Three of Wands. I feel like you're going to be entering into a timeline where you can just move forward. Like, the Three of Wands is about waiting for something to come in. But I feel as though like there's something that's passing up behind you, but I think it's because your attention is being guided elsewhere. Two of Wands is about making a choice where it is you want to go. But I feel as though you're taking a stand for what it is that you want to do when it comes to your gifts. And it's like you have the Two of Wands with you at all times. You always get to make the choice. And this feels very good, and this feels very freeing. What do we have? I like that. This is very cathartic, standing over the horizon, like just allowing the old to die away. Six of Wands. In some ways, looking at your future self, going into the version of you who you're entering into being, there's a lot of, like, this is like you're going to get so much better at understanding your gifts. You are on the right track. Got Two of Swords, King of Cups. Yeah, this is no longer being hyper dependent on external like energies, especially with the people that you love and care about, the community that you've established around you, whatever your circle of friends or family is supposed to be. Like you have to actually see them for who it is that they are. And again, you can still have love and compassion about what's going on, but in some ways, if you're feeling indecisive because they gave you an opinion, sometimes it just means that they're not emotionally mature enough to understand, like they're missing their ships because we got a ship back here and there's a ship back here. They're missing opportunities and they resent that they're missing opportunities. And you don't have to. Like, why would you put yourself through somebody else's karma? Let's get a little bit of guidance and we'll also see what the hidden energies are. Like, that's where the hidden energies lie. It's where the universe really wants you to kind of understand what's going on. But let's see, 7 of Coins, 4 of Coins, hidden energies, 8 of Cups. Oh, I just want to take a deep breath. Like, I've been seeing so many 7 of Coins showing up for you guys, especially within the past energies. It's time to reap what you sow. Like you've planted something. Like this experience with the King of Swords that you probably do love and care about or care way too much about their opinion. Again, it'll depend for each of you what energy makes the most sense. The advice still applies. The advice still resonates. What's more about this 7 of Coins? Like you've been through this paradigm for a reason, just so that you could go through something physically. Like we go to school and sometimes we learn things physically and practically, and other things it's more theory. The King of Swords, this is about the theory of maturity, the theory of your gifts, the theory of being a parent, again, whatever it means for you guys. But this is practical application. But there is something that you do need to let go of. And I think some of you are worried that you've wasted your time. Yeah, like you got to embrace some changes. Like this is the Death Rebirth card. This is welcoming in a brand new, like it's not quite the brand new timeline, but it's letting go of an old egoic version of yourself because you're digging for something that doesn't exist. Like look at this kid. Like there's Pentacle, 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 kind of, and it's like, well, maybe there's one more. Maybe it'll make it worth my while. That's where the sacral chakra wound kind of lies, which is kind of curious because when I go digging in the ground, this kid feels stuck. Their sacral chakra's kind of stuck in a low state, and I think it's just trying to find joy and pleasure in something that doesn't exist, and it means that you've been focusing all of your attention on things that are not there yet, as opposed to realizing you do actually have a lot around you. We got Knight of Cups, ooh, Ace of Swords. To get unstuck from this, the universe is sending you a little bit of divine intervention, it feels like. Whether this is through a loving relationship or somebody who loves and cares about you, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but this could just be as easily going out for dinner with a friend and you kind of share with them what it is that you've gone through. It's someone that you feel okay with being vulnerable with. And I really feel like this leap of faith, they're going to share something with you that's going to give you a lot of clarity. It's like, oh man, no, I remember when I went through this and I was kind of stuck doing that. And then I just realized that, wait, I've got so much to work with. This is a companion. This is someone that you can trust who is actually going to give you some good advice, because there's still a part of you that doesn't want to listen. Like I mean this with all the love in the universe. There is a part of you that doesn't want to quite listen, but that's just because you need to get rid of this Page of Swords energy, or at least release yourself from it. So 4 of Coins, it asks, that's sort of like, well, where can you focus? And I actually feel like this is more heart chakra. If you can understand why you're digging for things that don't exist, like there's no more pentacles. Like the card literally says 7 of Coins. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yep, there's 7 coins here. Why are you digging for something that's not there? It's literally written on the wall. And this happens a lot. Like this is no judgment. I speak from my personal experience where we feel like we want to be able to make the most of a bad situation. The card of the Emperor, 2 of Cups. Um, this is being so codependent on having another person in our life to prove that we can have everything. I feel like it's sort of like you're digging, oh, because we saw the death card here, you're digging the grave of something that doesn't exist anymore. Like this could be an old relationship. This could be a passed on loved one. This could be a previous version of you that would totally listen to the manipulative lies of the King of Swords. And I think it's either, on one hand, it's like maybe just bury that, let it go. Easier said than done, but there's still the temptation to dig. Like I'm so drawn towards this card. It's difficult even for me to try and focus more on what's going on. You have something here and it is your heart, it is your love. And I really feel like you inadvertently gave your love and respect and appreciation over to a third party energy that they weren't mature enough to handle it. This is some supreme heartbreak. Like I'm feeling all floaty. Like I know you can't see me, it's table down, but even just look at my hands, like my body just it's sort of like the upper half is wobbly, but what's nice is that I feel rooted. Like if you're working on your root chakra and your heart chakra, this is helping you anchor into the earth and get out of your head. This person kept you in your head. Okay, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Like that's a karmic energy that's making you doubt your body, doubt your instincts. And it all has to do with your heart. If your heart is valuable, then you'll know you can actually listen to it. I like that. 6 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords. Yeah, this is healing from a codependent timeline dynamic. Even if this King of Swords isn't someone specifically that you're thinking about, this could just be a persona that you've entertained over the years. It's like you get away from this person and then someone in the same energy crops up and you're like, oh, maybe it'll be different this time. And then it doesn't. And then you go, ah. Again, the struggle is absolutely real, but really focus on healing your heart chakra. Don't try to get anything out of this situation. And again, I think you honestly have a friend around you who will be able to help talk you out of this. Whether if this is, again, this could be a romantic situation. I do bear caution. You don't want to be trauma bonded, but this could be a sibling. Like, it's your brother showing up in your time of need. It's like, okay, let's just, you don't have to have a brother. I don't have a brother, but brotherly energy is still there. But it's like somebody who's like an equal who loves you. Is like, here, let me treat you out. Like, let's go sit down. Let's have a good conversation about this. This could be girls at brunch too, but they have something that they can share with you that'll help give you clarity to release you from this so that you don't have to feel guilty that you let something go. Like, what's this 8 of Cups? Like, this is the hidden energy. And I actually feel as though, because we have a portal, I see, and you've already walked through the portal, and I think your brain is just adapting to a new timeline. When we're opening up our gifts, especially when you get a brand new gift or you're just aware of the gift, like I talk about clairaudience, which is the ability to psychically hear thoughts. And part of it's like, well, that's just my imagination. Well, yes, but not everybody thinks that way. There's something that you had from childhood that you've taken for granted because it's so obvious to you. Like, I remember years ago, and I used to play cello, and I hung out with a bunch of cello people. Like, we all get together, practice, chat, and I'd ask them, hey, do you guys hear music all of the time? And some of them like, yeah, oh my God, it's so weird how I constantly hear music. It's as though you always have a song going on in the back of your mind at all times, but not everybody thinks that way. And there's something about, even if you get this conversation with someone, whether it's conversation in the 5D or conversation with someone in the 3D, there's something about your gifts that It's like, no, I don't hear voices. I don't think like that. I just talk out loud and people look at me like I'm crazy. So there's something to be said about this person talks out loud to themselves and the rest of the world gives them weird looks and I don't think they care. But you think your thoughts inwardly so that no one thinks that you're crazy. You kind of get my meaning? Like, you're kind of holding yourself back because you don't want to be perceived as crazy. But the way I'm feeling your energy, it's like, come on, you're okay. You're doing fine. We got Queen of Swords. I love that. Queen of Swords and the Empress. King of Swords. Oh, wow. Okay. Whew. I just love that like, for the last few days I keep getting the Empress showing up in the hidden energy. Like your feminine side is your inward energy, the aspect of you cannot prove, the part of you that is veiled away, and it's difficult to communicate feminine to feminine energy because you kind of have to guess and you have to really trust your own intuition to believe that you're hearing things the way that the person is telling you. And I will say this, communication is a bitch. Just because I say certain words and I think I understand the meaning, every single one of you will have a completely different interpretation of what it is that I am talking about. And that's okay. This is allowing other people to have their perception of what it is that you believe, their perception on what it is that, on how they want to take your words. If they want to use your words against you, well, then why are you hanging out with them? This is no longer being in a defensive mindset that's leading you down the road of mental illness, leading you down the road of constantly doubting yourself. It's the external energies that they doubt themselves. They don't believe what it is that they believe. They only believe it to impress their parents, to impress their God, to impress their partners, to impress their community. Impress, empress. Like there's a little bit of a pun going on in here. 4 of Wands, 2 of Wands. Remember I was saying earlier, when you have the 3 of Wands, it means you already have 2 wands available to you and you're just being guided. Got 2, 3, 4. You're moving forward. Even if it doesn't necessarily feel like it, you actually do have choice. These people in your past, they don't have choice. Well, they do. They just choose to believe that they don't have choice. You see? Everybody has choice, but some people choose not to make a choice. It is still a choice. I know. Mental gymnastics. I really appreciate you guys being here. But there's something what you are opening yourself up to so you can start celebrating. And it's sort of being way more in flow where you can find a tribe that you enjoy being with and you made the choice to be with them. Not trying to please them, not trying to be something that you're not. This is entering into community and a lifestyle where you can just be yourself, that you can actually exercise your gifts. And this group of people that you're going to be around, even if you don't always get it right, they have the ability to give you space to explore. Like this is about you creating your own playground in order for you to start having fun with your spiritual gifts. As long as you are using them to heal yourself first, I emphasize, use your gifts to heal yourself first. And then you'll be able to pay it forward and help others. But as long as you're focused on yourself, even the community around you, like nobody's perfect and they're not supposed to be. Perfection is boring. Everybody's got idiosyncrasy and that includes you. But this is giving you permission to be yourself with a group of people, even if it feels a little bit uncomfortable. That's the risk. And feeling good that if it doesn't work out, you're like, you tried partying at Burning Man, you gave it a try, maybe it was cool, but it wasn't everything you needed. At least you can check it off the list and be like, okay, I gave it a try. And at least I can have that. I can feel absolved that I did the right thing, but you're going to be able to move forward. So what is the final activation message that the viewer needs to know today so that they can move forward and enjoy themselves? We have the Celestial Temple of Revelations, Angelic Assistance, Truth, Salvation, Majesty. Tune into your own sense of trust. Can you trust yourself? Because in this space, clearing out all the other bullshit that's been going on around you, you're learning how to trust yourself. When you trust yourself, you can speak your truth. And when you speak your truth, the angels are able to assist you. Don't shy away from the beautiful gifts that you already have. You've earned them. You've lost a few things along the way, but you're learning how to reclaim it. Honor yourself during this time. Call on the angels and ancestors to give you some creative ideas on how to deal with whatever it is that you're doing. But you're leaving this old paradigm, and you're leaving this old paradigm that has kept you tied to childlike energies, and you're entering in to a new timeline where you're the grown-up, you will have authority, and it's all because you took the time to heal yourself. I'm just saying. Wow. Well, whoever it is that you guys are, damn, I sincerely hope that this helped. If you need any further in-depth guidance, I do provide personalized tarot readings as well as one-to-one healing sessions. Check out the description below if any of those things sing to you. Otherwise, when I see you guys at the next one, I'm wishing you peace, love, and all the berries.